Hola, ¿cómo están? Hoy vamos a aprender objeto directo y objeto indirecto. Today we're going to learn direct object pronoun and indirect object pronoun. They are little words that are going to substitute a word. Let's start with direct object. In a sentence like Juan gives flowers to his mom, in Spanish, Juan da flores a su mamá. In this sentence, we are going to find these two objects. And first, let's identify the direct object. So the direct object is when we ask the question to the verb what or who. So in this sentence, Juan gives flowers to his mom. Juan da flores a su mamá. So my question is what to the verb, what does he give? ¿Qué da Juan? And the answer is flowers, flores. Juan da flores. Now I know that flores is my direct object. And the pronouns that we are going to use for direct object are going to be me, te, nos, lo, los, la, las. It depends on the gender and the number. In this case, if I'm talking about flowers, las flores, it is feminine and plural. So with all these options that I have, I'm going to choose the plural and feminine, and that is las. So instead of saying las flores, I'm only going to say las. I'm substituting this word. That is now my direct object pronoun. So let's see what happened. In my sentence, Juan da flores a su mamá, I'm going to use las instead of flowers, but this pronoun needs to be written before the verb. So that is going to be Juan las da a su mamá. Now we know that we are talking about flowers. A different example can be I buy candies for the kids. So one more time, my question, what or who? What do I buy? So I buy candies. Candies is gonna be my direct object. Dulces. So I need to put the pronoun before the verb. Los compro a los niños. Now, what happened when I have two verbs? For example, now with the example that we had with Juan, now instead of saying Juan gives flowers to his mom, I'm gonna say Juan wants to give flowers to his mom. Now I have two verbs, wants and to give. Now, it's a rule that we need to conjugate the first verb, and the second verb is gonna be in the infinitive form. That is the base form of the verb. There is another rule that I can never put a pronoun, any kind of pronoun, in the middle of two verbs. So now I have two options. This direct object pronoun can be at the beginning, first, like we were using in the other example, or at the end attached to the infinitive verb. Let's see number one. Las quiere dar a su mamá, option one. Option two, quiere dárselas a su mamá. Now we're gonna make a big word, but needs to be attached in the second. Remember, never in the middle of two verbs. Muy bien. Now, what is the indirect object? Indirect object is gonna answer the question to whom or for whom. We're gonna have some different pronouns and some of the same pronouns than direct object. The same ones are going to be me, te, nos, and the ones that are different are going to be le and les. In the indirect object, we only have two options. So we only have number, singular or plural. Direct object, we have singular, plural, feminine, and masculine. So gender and number. Indirect object, only number. Now, let's use the same examples. It's gonna be the same rule like direct object. I need to put the direct object before the verb, before the conjugated verb. For example, Juan le da flores a su mamá. In my second option with two verbs, I'm gonna say Juan quiere dar flores a su mamá. I'm gonna substitute the indirect object. Now I have two options, like in the indirect object. Le quiere dar flores or quiere darle flores. Very good. First example, and let's see the second example. I give candies to the kids. To whom? To the kids. Oh, that's my indirect object. The kids is a plural object. So now I need to use les because that's my option for plural. I'm gonna use the first example. Let's translate it. Les doy dulces a los niños. With two verbs, quiero dar dulces a los niños. To whom? To the kids. A los niños. So it's gonna be the first option. Les quiero dar dulces. Option number 2. Quiero darles dulces. Very good. Now, what happens if I have both objects in the sentence? We did first direct object and then indirect object. Now, let's put them together. Doing this, we are gonna have the same rule, like we can never put the pronouns in the middle of two verbs. And the pronouns, they need to be together. There is another important, very important rule that is called the la rule. That means that I cannot have two pronouns that they have L at the beginning together. For example, direct object has lo, la, los, las. Indirect object has le, les. So I cannot have like lo, le, las, les, le, los. So LL together, we cannot do that. That's when in the indirect object, we change le and les. In case we have lo, los, la, or las for the direct object, then we change to se for the indirect object. When we do this, we need to write first the indirect object and then the direct object. Let's see the example, the first one. Juan da flores a su mamá. Because we only have one verb, this could be, because it's not the way it's gonna be, le las da. Optional, a su mamá. Le las. Oh, we have the la rule, so we need to change le to se. Now we're gonna have se las da a su mamá. What happened with two verbs? The same thing. Now indirect object, direct object together. We don't use le, we use se. Se las quiere dar a su mamá. Remember, a su mamá is to emphasize in case we are not sure to whom. In this case, with the indirect object, we can write the pronoun at the beginning and we can write the object, the indirect object at the end, just to clarify. So, se las quiere dar o se las quiere dar a su mamá. Option number 2. Quiere dárselas a su mamá. Espero que te sirva este video. Nos vemos. Adiós.